Well, we're live here, and there is a predator in my neck. If you feel this pressure in the back of your neck, and you just think it's just a sore neck, well, apparently monsters live inside of your bodies, and they're small. They're very big outside the world. They're very very big. They exist in the ether, but inside of you, they're very small. So you can have monsters living inside of your body, your brain, feeding off of us. This is very serious and crucial that we learn how to fight to be observant of this, because they have a personality. They're like demons. This is what happened to the demons. I think what happened to their pride. They grew into monsters, and these beings exist today, and they live inside of you. They want to live inside of you. So what I do is they get into my body, and I use I kind of pressure them with my body. And you can feel the pressure in your body, and eventually they'll leave. They will leave the top of your body and through your forehead. I had a Dragon Ball Z character villain that was very very vicious, very very vicious, and he was trying to cut my spinal cord. He was trying to chomp on it, and I could feel it. I was fighting it. It hurt. It hurts. And I don't like to be vicious or anything. I don't like to be vicious. But anyways, if Jesus Christ is real, you only want Him in yourself. You don't want anything else. Jesus Christ is coming down to make war with with the devil. So you said you gotta do. This is what you gotta do. Take up arms. Don't use real weapons necessarily. Use the sword of the truth. Use uh, whatever name of God. Then God will mobilize your being to be fruitful, to be in His warfare against the snake devil, the kingdom of the serpents. The serpent devil, who's the king of the snakes. But Jesus taught us how to conquer them, to trample upon them. So that's what we're dealing with here. Is Jesus Christ making us into His image versus these monsters. They're trying to create us in their image and use us as a spawning program. And so we're just being in a program, like a system. And they're in a system. They're systemizing us, and we don't have to live according to that necessarily. Their system's not ethical. It's not full of anything. It's just roboticism. It's like you turn it into a computer. If you want to be that, that's your decision. But you're not gonna you're not gonna be very Jesus is a Geist here. The parasites want to feed off of us organic beings, our family, possibly. This is about mind control versus being free individual identities. Individual identification. That's been identified in God. So your identification going to be solidified in some nonsense, something. And I do think that they worship. They're into planets and stuff. I think they're into planets and stars, and they're starmen. You play this game called Earthbound. You fight these starmen in the game. They're silver, big old, big people. They're giants. And they this guy Ness in the game. It's a Nintendo game. It's been around, and you should play it. You run into these battery. There's battery monsters. You can fight a truck in the game. You actually get to fight a truck. It's pretty bizarre. Yeah, Santa Claus. I really think some of us are very machine or connected to the machines, and they want the perfect machine to take over, to take control of. I think the world dominating forces. I've always had this eerie feeling about this since I was very young, that something was trying to like take over your like like humans as in the sense of the abstract sense of certain things is a very complex being, and this is what the parasites they're pretty much onto us, some of us. So you gotta escape from these nonsensical things that are programming us, and how are you gonna do this? Okay, don't take thought for your life. Don't worry or fear. Don't think about the lust of the body. Seven deadly sins. Stay out of pornea. It's just immorality. Stay away from people that roboticize you into promiscuity and all this kind of stuff. Things. This is all just burning demons shit. Burning demons or burning. So we're in the midst of all that. A burning devil that's already burning, which I was talking about these fairies that'll live inside want to abide inside of some of us, or that they let's like think about it this way. You're like a machine bot or something to these folk, and they actually want to live inside of us and compute us and stuff like that. It sounds really bizarre or whatever, but the small things are actually can be very, very large things. So it's like, hey, something may appear very, 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 very small, but on the spiritual plane, it could be the opposite. It could be freaking huge. You know what I mean? Like these little fairy beings, they seem very tiny. They're very tiny and they're very small, but they can be very, very huge on a spiritual reality. But you don't understand that. It's just completely opposite to the physics of this world. But you gotta be careful. There's these. Just be aware of this. There are strong fairies that are very small, and they're in humans. And it's like mushrooms. Think about mushrooms. Mushrooms are very small, and then it goes. Yeah, there's certainly something. They're like sprites from a video game. They're like sprites. A lot of the games I've been seeing these octobrains from this game that I used to play, and they're these monsters that are like something out of a nightmare or something. But I kept seeing them in my head as if one of them had, well, they were trying to come after us. and hook into us and link into us. Like, hey, there's this giant brain, floating evil brain beings that want to it's like a Martian invasion kind of a thing. You were watching the Martian movies or these theories about Mars and stuff. Um, you know, it's really criminal stuff. It is criminal. It's the world that's veiled to just to you, and it's very near to us. And we don't want to understand it because we'll probably have a seizure or something. Um, but you have to bring it out. You have to tell if you know parasites. They want to feed off of your energy. Something about some people that these monsters that have no substantialness reality of their own, they want to take control of you if you have some kind of substantial. Not that anybody's really substantial to begin with. That's just a myth. That's just a myth. I think anything could be like a fairy, man, like a fair. And Jesus is very succinct. He's like, you have to die, take up your cross, and die to the world daily. Well, that's what Paul said. But you have to take your cross up and accept shameful, accept death, and that's the way to overcome fear of evil, or conquer the earth, conquer death and Satan. Satan wants to control you with fear of evil, fear of the unknown, and pain and stuff like that, ridicule, things like that. People are crazy about that stuff. They want to be fit in, and everybody loves them, and everybody's gonna like you. And then the devil's a slanderer, and he's an ancient serpent that wants to slander us to God and to creation. And he's always there in your heart, festering in your body, and he's acts like he's controlling you like a robot. He's like an evil robot that's insinuating hell into the earth, and he's pretending to be good, pretending to be of God. Like he's pretending to be part of us. He actually pretending to be church. Actually, in the Book of Revelation, the whore of Babylon, she's drinking the blood of the martyrs. She's actually intoxicated with the blood of the saints and the martyrs of Jesus, and she has a golden cup of abomination in her hand. Like it's like the flip side of the Holy Church's chalice. The devil has his own chalice, and it's an astral world, and it's very sinful and it's very toxic. It's like they're gas. It's like they're eating gasoline basically, or something like that. It's like something out of like a bad movie. It's like, hey, you got these ancient predator, ancient evil things in this world that are frightening. That you have to just ignore them, because then you try to manifest them. You don't want to manifest them into the world. If they're already existing, you don't want them to be in a reality anymore. That's essentially what Jesus was trying to fish out people for his kingdom and create a whole new reality. So that's what we're supposed to look for. So stop looking at this ancient pagan stuff and nonsensical stuff. Yeah, I just wanted to forewarn you though, because Jesus Christ energies of God that exist in nature being perverted, polluted, they make us turn into demons if we misuse his creation. In my personal perspective is you got nuclear meltdowns and stuff. It's like a nuclear meltdown, but in your soul. Like, and the thing about the radiation that can affect you, that you could be radiating the earth. You could be a tool of evil, and like a burning thing that's just burning and flames of, nonsense of vileness. And you think about the sooty, these images of these demons with these black faces, it's because they have misappropriated God and turned that way. I imagine this world could be full of people like that. They're people with black faces, sooty black faces, but they look like they're good people. They look like they're nice people. It's weird. But yeah, I mean, like if Jesus Christ's energy comes on the earth, what you're appropriating it to be, it was what you're going to for all time, eternity, is what it's going to be. If if God appears wrathful or if you don't have humility and love and truth, they don't want the truth to come out, and they want the dark powers that be want to keep us in lust and pride, because they're aware that the implications of having the Messiah show up would be disastrous for them, they wouldn't want any of that. But it's gonna happen anyways, because they can't stop what's gonna happen. Jesus is gonna turn the earth. The world's gonna be ripped out. It's like the page is gonna be, you know, the, they're not gonna be able to stop the emergence of the truth. But this is what the problem is. The fear. It's a psychology related to the the emotions. That's the big problem. That's a big deal. You have higher emotions. You have higher things. The five senses, the five senses are encapsulating encapsulating our energy, our energies. So the five senses should be reworked, since figured out a way to do that. Figure out um accept the struggle of cross of Jesus. That's just to get out of all this nonsense. You gotta